So I think to a lot of people right now, it doesn't really make sense to criticize the social aspects of the left right now because of all of the genuinely fascistic and authoritative things that Trump and the right are doing in terms of the people in power. I'm not talking about everyday Americans. I don't know why they're voting for Trump, but a lot of them, I don't think it necessarily has to do with his anti-democratic leanings, which they may not really be aware of, or when they are made aware of it, they're just like, well, it would be good if there were another 4 years of a Trump presidency. It's good if he's arresting people that he doesn't like because he must know what he's doing, right? Which is all very un-American. But I wanted to talk still about the left because I have expressed my opinions on Reddit, for example, and been mercilessly bullied, essentially, which I hate to think of myself in the light of being bullied in a negative way, like, oh, I got bullied online, like, who gives a shit, really, right? But what is upsetting to me is that I would hear, for example, J.K. Rowling tell her point of view, like, people just, despise her on Reddit, and a lot of the cast members of the Harry Potter movie also were really not big J.K. Rowling fans. And so, like, one day I was like, well, what did she actually say? And I went and I read that she had written this letter about her relationship to trans people using women's, facilities generally intended for women in the past. And when I read that letter, it was very clear from what she said, as long as you're willing to believe what she said, which it's like, people on the left are like, believe women, unless it's J.K. Rowling, then it's like, oh, she must have some kind of a, some kind of a ploy here. But basically all she said was that, like, she had experienced domestic abuse, and I think even sexual assault as well. And so coming from that point of view, you have to understand when somebody goes through those things, it narrows their scope of vision of the things that they can really see in the world, and makes it impossible for her to separate the idea of trans women from men. Because in her world, it's, a person who's biologically born as a man coming into a woman's space, and it makes her feel unsafe. That is perfectly understandable as an opinion. It doesn't make her right that her feelings are valid. But people on the left see it as if you have valid feelings, then that means you must be right. And so for her to be wrong, they have to think I'm a piece of shit.